Hello, everybody. We're here at PHP Tech 2009. The conference is wrapped, and I managed to capture these three guys and get a little bit of information about them. So please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Bergmann, and together with these two other gentlemen, I recently founded a company. Most people in the PHP community probably know me from my work on PHP Unit, PHP's premier testing framework for the last couple of 7-8 years.
That was short.
Yeah.
I'm Stefan Priebsch from Munich, Germany, co-founder of the PHP CC together with Sebastian and Arne, the guy who's going to introduce himself in a minute. I do PHP, I've been doing PHP for far too long. I'm currently involved in helping out refactor and run tests, and have been doing training and consulting in the PHP area for quite some years now.
Okay, so what's there to say about me? Well, obviously I'm a part of the PHP CC as well, so I'm the security freak and, well, quite solemnly well-known author in the PHP magazine and PHP Architect, writing about security there. And working for PHP or with PHP for quite some time as well, so I think that's...
You forgot XML God.
Well, I'm not a god yet, but just
Guru.
Freak.
Rob's apprentice.
Okay. You guys did a session earlier this week that's been talked about quite a bit on code reviews. Well, could you guys speak a little bit about that?
So, number one, if you look around in any programming language, you will see a lot of bad code out there. If it's open source, you're free to look at the code, and this is basically what we do. Look at open source projects, look at the code, and try to get people to learn from other people's mistakes. So the idea is show bad code, show not so good examples, talk about why we think this is not a good idea, and try to tell the people what ways we would use to solve the problems or different approaches we would suggest.
Okay.
One thing that is very important to us is that we don't do this to bash open source projects. It's more like in our daily work as consultants, we come into a lot of projects and see really bad code in production, and we cannot disclose examples from our customer projects. So at some point we had the idea of looking in open source projects for bad code examples that look similar to what we see in our daily life, and use these examples. As Stefan mentioned, they are open source, and it's not only us but everyone else gets to have a look at this code from different angles.
So you choose open source projects for legal reasons, because
Yes.
you don't want to get sued.
Yes.
That sounds like a good reason to me.
Well, it's also, and I think it's also a chance for the open source projects to get some feedback on their work and maybe improve on their coding, improve on their standards, and fix some of the things that we found. Actually, we did a Magento code review a while back and got in touch with Magento. They're very interested in the results, so we had a long phone conversation with their developers, and I think they're working towards changing some of the things that we mentioned. So we're also trying to help other projects getting better code out.
And something similar happened this week here at Tech, because we showed examples from Habari for the first time, and there was something in there that Arne is going probably to talk about a bit, and they fixed it within 2 hours after we made the presentation. So there's actually something beneficial for both sides coming out.
So this is definitely constructive criticism that you turn back to the projects and
Yes.
try to help them improve.
We want to be constructive, we don't want to be there.
You're not mean. You're not jerks.
Yes.
You are jerks. Yes, you are jerks? No.
We're Germans, but no jerks.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
I think it's a bit depends on the point of view. If you are the original author and somebody says like this is something that's stupid or that's not the best way of doing it, then you might feel offended about it. But in general, if you write open source software, it's like you're going to publish your source code for everybody to read it. So if you see somebody criticizing it, that's like, well, maybe you're right. Maybe I should fix it. Maybe I should make it better. Maybe I should learn something from it. And I'm writing open source software myself, and I know that some of my code is really, well, compared to my own standards, it's not up to date anymore. So I should rewrite it. That's probably quite some time, and sometimes an issue of timing and actually getting around to do it. But for example, the security stuff that I found while reviewing the Habari code, and actually guess I have to apologize for making it a very short announcement. Like we spoke to I believe. Sean Coates, right, like 1 hour before the presentation, that we found a security problem within Haberry, which is admittedly a very short time frame to actually get it fixed, but they fixed it within like 2 hours. So I think it wasn't that big of a big deal. And the way what you actually had to do to exploit it, it was really like complicated and very rare situations where you can actually exploit it. So the security problem was obviously there, but it was really hard to exploit. So, and we didn't really release it in a like big website posting with exploit code and everything. It was really like just we showed the source code, a very tiny snippet of it within our session. So that's really a minor release of a security exploit.
But then again, we didn't really disclose the secret because it's open source. It's there to read for anybody. So maybe somebody already knew about it and did not disclose it.
Right. But I mean, a lot of open source projects, I've been involved in a few. Yes, it's open source, and yes, the bug is there, and disclosing it isn't the issue. It's identifying it. And so it sounds like you guys are working at being able to turn around those issues and pass them back to the projects maybe faster. And sounds great. Sounds really great. So this is how many times have you guys been to the conference, PHP Tech? Every year?
It's actually my first time to be.
It's your first year. So are you interested and willing to come back?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
They want to have me.
Oh, if they have you. Oh, that's a good question.
It's my second tech, and if they want to have me back, I'll be back.
Great.
It's my second or third tag, and
You're a staple. Nobody could get rid of you if they tried. And we appreciate it. We've been involved in a number of things. So thank you guys for all of your work. And signing off from PHP Tech 2009. Thank you.
thank you.